Hi there, I'm Andy from Roland. We're here today at Absolute Music and we're going to take a look at the sequencer that is in the Phantom. And what's great about the sequencer in the Phantom is it's very quick to get ideas down. So that's gone in there now, so I've got my 4-bar loop going. What's cool is because now on the left hand side on here I have the mixer for my part, so I can say take the volume of that one down so there's a little bit more in the background. And this is a really nice thing actually, that you can have all these different patterns working and they can all be different different lengths as well, which is cool. So I hit start. And then if you wanted to, we can sort of start by building up a bit of an arrangement. So at the bottom here, we have a thing called pattern utility. So for instance, if I wanted to have a few things, I might not want everything playing at the same time. So if I go to pattern utility, I can then copy and paste a few different things. So I can go to my drum pattern, I can copy that, and I can then go to the section underneath it and paste it so that it's on its own. And maybe I'll just take the bass line with that as well. And we'll copy that, and we'll paste that there. And I'm going to do those again actually, just so I've got them underneath. And same again for the drums. And I'm also going to copy these first two parts as well. So I'm going to copy that first part down to number 3. And same again for number 2. Cool, so if I just go out of pattern utility, so now that I've got different selections of patterns, I could just launch, I could start everything on number B if I wanted to. So just to get something going initially. And then I could also hit C, and it plays those 4 together. So what's quite cool is now that we've got these different parts together, if I wanted to build that into a bit of a song, I can specify these sort of groupings. So for instance, everything that I've got going in B, if I hit grouping, I can now group these together. If I set this to group 1, and I'm just going to rename that. So I can rename this as my intro. Hit OK. And then say underneath this, those 4 patterns together, I'm going to group those to group 2. Set that, and then I'm going to rename that to be verse, and then finally everything working together, I'm going to set that grouping for number 3, and I'm going to call this to be my chorus. Cool. So if I go to my groups now to look at these, so one thing actually that we also need to change is that the length is set to be 1 bar at the moment. So for instance, if I go to my intro, so my drum pattern, yeah, that's 1 bar, but actually the bass line I've written is 8 bars. So I want to make sure that I stretch that out to be 8. So just change the length down here. Likewise, because the length of my bass line is 8, I need to change that for my verse and also for my chorus as well. So now if I were to launch a particular group, if I just wanted to hear the verse part, I can hear it from here and it just plays it for me. But what's great is now I can sequence these in order to make a bit of a song. So that's great about the Fantom is it's very quick to get ideas down, layer things up together, and then you can sort of split them up and create a song out of it. So if I go to make song, so on here this is the structure of my song on the right hand side, and on the left hand side I have the groups that we've just made. So if I wanted to add in my intro, I press add, oops, not twice, and it adds in the intro once, so it'll play that full 8 bars one time, and then I could go to my verse and I could add that in, and then I could go to my chorus as well, click add, that brings in, and then you can use this to structure your song. So for instance, then I want to go back to the verse, but maybe I want it twice, and then I can also have a chorus and an intro, whatever you like really, and you've got a huge number of groups that you can do. You can do 16 at the same time, so you can have 16 different sections going on, so this is great. And when now I go to my song on here, so if I was doing a particular performance or anything like that, I just hit play. And you can see on the screen here that it's going through that pattern, and when it reaches the end, it'll then move on to the next section. I'm not going to play the whole song here, but just so you can hear a bit of a transition. So that's cool. And what's ace about the Fantom, so now if I hit right and save my scene, which I've just called this one pattern demo,